right, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Devil's Partner 1961. Giving it 2 out of 5 stars. I thought it was pretty lame. I lied in my last review for Bloodsport 4. The Dark Comite. I said in my last video that I was only going to do one movie review this weekend, but I had to show you the Miami Vice disc, season 1, disc 5. So I decided to go up on my list. Karate Man knows that my list is all over the place. Here's Miami Vice, disc 5. So I actually went up my list from Miami Vice to Devil's Partner. This is going to be a non-Karate Man review. I actually picked this one out, Devil's Partner, and I still disliked it. Oh, no! All right, coming down the pike is Miami Vice, Season 1, Disc 6, Miami Vice, Season 2, Disc 1, and Miami Vice, Season 2, Disc 2. Now let's talk about Devil's Partner. Is a 1958 U.S. film featuring Ed Nelson, best known for his role as Dr. Michael Rossi in the television series Peyton Place, which I have not seen, directed by Charles R. Rundo and produced by Hugh Hooker, an actor and stuntman who had previously made the 1958 film The Littlest Hobo. However, the film was not released until 1961 when it was acquired by Roger and Gene Corman's film group as a double feature with Creature from the Haunted Sea, which I have reviewed. The film was co-written by actor Stanley Clements and Laura Jean Matthews. Let's see what the movie poster says. I can't read it. Half man, half beast, he sold his soul. And then there's something on the tombstone that I can't read. I can't read that. Let's see if I can pull it up. So we did what's coming down the pike. Oh, here's a better one. Maybe this one is bigger. Oh, no, that's Wikipedia. Let's try this one. All right. Let's try Amazon movie poster. The movie poster looks cool. It's $21.95 on Amazon, which is not bad for a movie poster. It looks like it's got some fold creases on it. The movie poster looks way better than the movie. All right, here's an expanded view. We did not recommend this picture for those who are easily shocked. That's what the tombstone says. It says a Huron production. Half man, half beast, he sold his soul for passion. All right, there you have it, the movie poster. Nobody's in the chat room. No British Crumpet Man or Karate Man or Adrian. Jeff Jaffe commented on one of the What did he comment on? Yeah, Jeff Jaffe was back briefly. He commented on Without Warning, 1980. I guess he was going back and looking at my old reviews because he didn't like the new reviews. All right, set in rural Furnace Flats, New Mexico, the film opens with the hunched old man, Pete Jensen, slaughtering a goat, dabbing his blood with a hexagon drawn on the floor of his shack. Days later, a young man, Nick Richards, arrives in town, asks about Pete, claiming he is his uncle. The town sheriff informs Nick that Pete is dead. Nick decides to set up residence in Pete's shack. While there, he engages in a series of demonic rituals designed to drive a wedge between pretty Nell Lucas. We like Nell Lucas. And her fiancé, auto mechanic David Simpson. One evening, after a date with Nell, David is mysteriously attacked and disfigured by his pet dog. Nick offers to substitute for David at his gas station while he recovers. Those alerted to Nick's presence notice that even though it's incredibly hot, the immaculately dressed Nick fails to perspire. Later, he jokes that he's the devil and it's much cooler up here. Yet, with the exception of the sheriff's dogs, the town inhabitants feel comfortable in his presence. Meanwhile, further animal-related incidents occur. A local drunk is trampled by the horse. The drunk is played by Brian Foulger. We like Brian Foulger on this channel. The only good scene in this is Brian Foulger sitting in a chair watching the demonic ritual, and the expression on his face is just perfect. We love Brian Foulger on this channel. Edgar Buchanan was in Penny Serenade. I added his name to the description under Penny Serenade. A plastic surgeon dies when a cow lays down in the road in front of his speeding car, causing him to crash. Later, a rattlesnake threatens David in his bedroom, but he shoots the varmint before it escapes. Eventually, the town doctor finally guesses that Nick, the victim of demonic possession, is behind the hostile animal incidents. He further theorizes correctly that the old man Pete and his nephew Nick are actually one and the same. In the film's climax, the doctor and the sheriff, along with Nell and David, witness Nick transforming into a stallion off camera, I might add. As he gallops away, however, the sheriff brings him down with several gunshots. And I don't want to spoil anything, but while several characters in this film claimed to have seen a centaur, one never appears on screen, even though one appears on the poster advertising the movie. Like I said, the poster is way better than the movie itself. You feel ripped off, man. They didn't even show the transformation scene. Come on! Author critic Brian Sen wrote that the director, Charles R. Rondo, cuts through the bull to deliver an atmospheric, intimate little supernatural thriller, praising the earnest cast members, including Gene Allison and Edgar Buchanan. Sen continues that even if the film is perhaps predictable, you could do far worse than to shake hands with the devil's partner. Horror film scholar Eric Michael Mazur has identified Devil's Partner as part of a scary subgenre that took advantage of the early 1960s obsession with hysteria over juvenile delinquency and the accessibility of strange new religions. As a result of these social concerns, An environment resulted where the devil film became nearly ubiquitous. Commenting on Devil's Partner, critic David Goldweber was delighted by the film's blending of sweet 1950s small-town ambience with shape-shifting devil worship, while admitting that he might be overstating it because I like this kind of thing. The acting, directing, script, and dialogue are all above average. So there you have The Devil's Partner. Why don't I pull up the Wikipedia page since I've got plenty of time this weekend. Try to finish disc 5. I enjoyed disc 4 of Miami Vice a lot better than 2 and 3, but I still think the pilot one, the pilot disc, and the first episode were better than all the other discs. The first disc of season 1 was the best, followed by season 1 disc 4. So I'm kind of actually looking forward to season 1 disc 5. It's starting to get better. It progressively got worse, and then it started to get better. All right. So Devil's Partner gets a 5.2 out of 10. I'm actually rating it lower than IMDb, which is unusual for the types of movies that I watch, but it only has 527 ratings. Very low. Very obscure film. An old man sells his soul to the devil and turns into a young man. He then uses witchcraft, black magic, to win a woman from his rival. So we don't know that he transformed himself into a young man. We thought he died and his nephew came to town. Very confusing plot, if you can even call it that. I guess it's a plot, yeah. Filmed and copyright dated in 1958, submitted to the British Board of Film Censors on 27th of November 1959. It passed with an X certificate when Grand National unveiled their legendary release, Plan 9 from Outer Space, in 1957 at the Hammer Preview Theater on February 15th, 1960. They also announced Devil's Partner as the co-feature. The two films opened at Coventry's Opera Cinema on Monday, March 21st, 1960 for a 6-day run, then moved to random places, Derby, Hastings, Long Eaton, Motherwell, etc. during the rest of 1960. So this was a double bill with Plan 9 from Outer Space. When David is attacked by his German Shepherd, the dog bites him on the left side of his face. In the next scene, he's holding a towel, and later he's bandaged on the right side of his face. Quotes from Sheriff Tom Foulger: "Doesn't make sense. A hunk of beef killing a man like Dr. Marks." The credits say, and introducing Ed Nelson. Ed Nelson had been making movies since the early 1950s. This was edited into Frightmare Theater, The Devil's Partner, 2018. Here's a feature review on IMDb. It says, not bad. This is a review by Gafke, dated January 8th, 2004. Don't get too attached to the idea presented by the movie poster of the film box cover for this movie. There's no beautiful naked woman bareback riding a wild centaur anywhere to be found. Sorry. Yeah, that's a real bummer. But despite this fact, The Devil's Partner is not a terrible film and makes up for in mood and performances what it lacks in style that a bigger budget might have given it. A nasty, hairy, smelly old hermit sacrifices a goat in his dingy shack and is given a new life by the devil himself. How do we know that he's smelly? just by the way he looks, or at least I'm assuming it was the devil. You only get to see a burned black hand co-signing a contract that a hermit has already signed with the blood of the poor aforementioned goat. Yeah, that's another thing. There's this mysterious hand that comes out, and you don't know if it's the devil or what. I thought the devil was my son's was my son's 8th grade social studies teacher, not the 7th grade one that I'm trying to get to go to his confirmation. Oh, by the way, I talked to the pastor on the phone yesterday after I did my movie review with the Karate Man in the chat room. There's nobody in the chat room now. Because I warned you that I wasn't going to do another movie review this weekend. Nobody's prepared for this. All right. So when I first talked to the pastor, Father Joseph, this guy keeps contradicting himself, because when I first talked to him on the phone, he said the Vatican told the Archbishop to stop doing the extraordinary form confirmations at our church. But then yesterday he said the Vatican did not say no. So it's going forward in 2025. So I'm just going to have my son wait a couple years to do the extraordinary form confirmation. And I told his 7th grade teacher that, hey, I'm sorry for the mix-up. I even told his mother. But we're going to wait another year. Okay. Anyway, the hermit, minus about 40 years and having benefit from a recent flea bath, waltzes into our story, which takes place in a heat-blasted desert town. Mr. Brand New Satanic Pants never breaks a sweat, strolling cool as ice cream into the lives of Nell and her boyfriend, causing major problems for both of them before he can be dispatched. True enough, this is low-budget extravaganza, but it makes the best with what it has to work with. The performances are sincere, the mood is spooky, and the plot is actually rather original and benefits from some light yet surprising touches of perversion and sadism, filmed in black and white and totally devoid of gore. The Devil's Partner still manages to be disturbing, especially when you take into consideration the year in which it was made, harmless entertainment and not a total waste of an hour or so. Yeah, not bad, but not good either, in my opinion. Distributed by Film Group, running time 73 minutes. Thank God. Although I think it was barely 73 minutes. It was like 72 minutes, 50 seconds or something on YouTube. It was 72 minutes and 46 seconds. Excuse me. All right. Well, that's the end of my review. I tried to cover as much as possible by reading Wikipedia and IMDb. 2 websites this time, because otherwise it would have been a 10-minute review. Try to get it up at least over 13 minutes. I'm going to try to take a little nappy poo. I've been fasting. I haven't had food or drink for 6 hours now. And it's time for a little nappy poo. Try to rest off the effects on my body. I've been hitting the toilet quite a bit this morning because I pigged out yesterday in anticipation of my fast. I think my body's starting to get used to this every other day fast thing. And Friday morning, I actually broke my fast because the nice owner was upstairs. I couldn't cook tater tots in the ovens upstairs, which would fill me up more than the yogurt and the smoothie that I had on Friday morning. So when I broke my fast with dairy products, I actually ended up being more hungry for not having all those tater tots in my tum-tum. If that makes sense. Fasting is definitely helping me lose weight. I might get down to 180 by the time Lenten season starts, when I'll be drinking nothing but orange juice all day until the sun goes down, at least later.